How did you become kind of the voice of the UFC?
Well, I started in 1997. I was the post-fight interviewer. That was it was just a position that was available, and the UFC was very small back then. Very few people knew what it was. It was off a cable. You couldn't get it on cable. You could only get it on satellite. And they needed someone to do post-fight interviews.
But
so
you were in that world to begin with?
I was in the martial arts world. You know, I used to teach martial arts for a living before I became a comedian. I used to fight. Fought in a lot of taekwondo tournaments and had some kickboxing fights. And I'd always been a martial artist since I was a kid. And so I just was interested in watching the UFC, and then I started training in jiu-jitsu. And when I was training in jiu-jitsu, I was just a white belt. I was just starting out. That's when I got hired by the UFC to be a post-fight interviewer. But I only did that for 2 years, and then I quit. It was just too much, and it was actually like I was losing money. I would make more money doing a weekend at a comedy club than I would doing the UFC. And it just got to a point where it was too much of a pain in the ass. And so I still remained a fan, but I backed away. And then the UFC was purchased by this company called Zuffa in 2001. And when that happened, they started putting on shows in Vegas, and I would go there with my friends. They got me free tickets. They reached out, and they would try to get celebrities to go sit there so that it would, because they were very small at the time, and they were hemorrhaging money, and they were trying to build it up. And in talking to Dana White, one day he I was talking to him about fights going on in Japan. I'm like, have you ever seen Sato fight? Do you know do you know Sakura? Do you know this guy? And I was bringing all these names. And he was like, do you want to do commentary? I'm like, I don't want to do commentary, man. I'm here to get drunk and watch people kick the shit out of each other. I'm not here to work. And he talked me into it for one show, a UFC 37 and a half. It was a show that was on one of those Fox sports networks, smaller networks. And I think it was the Best Damn Sports Show, period, was a part of it. I did that, and the rest is history.
Wow.
And then I did like 12 of them for free. Like, the UFC didn't have any money. They were hemorrhaging money. I mean, there were rich people that owned it, but it was not a profitable venture.
Yeah.
And I said, look, just get me there, get me and my friends tickets, and I'll do it. And so that's how I operated for like over a year. And then I just became the commentator.